Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Colleen, and if we haven't met before, I'm so glad you're with me today. My video today is going to be quite a short one. I was busy doing some baking with some of my trainees the other day, and we were about to toss out this parchment paper box, and these serrated edges caught my imagination. So the box says it's 100% biodegradable and compostable, and the lovely thing about this box is that this plastic that tears the parchment paper is removable. So this is what sparked my imagination. The box, however, I did think would be rather nice if I actually covered it nicely and made some compartments for storing small ephemera in, like tags, because it's fairly durable cardboard, and it is a nice length, and it fits into a nice corner, and if I got several of those, I'm sure I could get quite a lot of stuff in there. So watch out for the video on how to do that. But right now, the only thing that is interesting me is this serrated edge. So you'll see on the one side it's completely flat. The other side there's almost a little step down. And I did test this, or I haven't gone to try it out, but I wanted to see whether I could make a tear ruler using this. And imagine my delight when I picked up my metal ruler, and this fits so snugly on here. You just press it on. I mean, it couldn't have been made any better if it was designed for this. However, it is a little bit long, and let me just see if I'm able to snip this off with my pliers. Yep, that comes off pretty cleanly. So now I have an attachment which I can put on my ruler, which has this lovely serrated pattern. And as you can see, I am pulling it, but it is sitting here fairly snugly. Now, the next thing is to see whether it actually works as a tear ruler, and I haven't tested this at all. So let me start off with this, which is some just scrap paper, and let's just see what happens. So I'm going to put my tear ruler down. What I do want to have is the flat edge where the teeth and the backing are on the same side on the back of my ruler. There is a little bit of a step here, so you will need to hold your ruler. I don't know if you can see that this is a little bit, maybe you can see it better there, but there is a little bit of a bump, so just hold it, but it's free, so don't throw things away that are free. So let's hold this and tear. Excuse the noise. Okay, so that is torn quite nicely. Paper does have grain, so I'm going to just try it tearing it this way around. You can see that quite different kind of a tear. So paper does have a grain, and you'll notice, I'll just give you a quick tutorial on that. It's torn far better in one way than the other. The same thing goes if you tear it in one direction, it's all going to split like that. But if you tear it in the opposite direction, the whole piece of paper will tear. So that's what I mean when it has a grain. So with the paper, you need to find which way it's going to tear the best for what you're wanting to do. Okay, so I'm happy. That is actually quite a lovely edge if you were making sort of faux postage stamps. So I'm quite happy with that one. Let's try now to tear some lightweight card. And I made this card when I was back in South Africa, so let's just see. That would be maybe about that sort of size if I wanted to make some kind of journal card. I'm just pulling the paper up and a little bit towards me, and I'm just going slowly, no rush. And there we go. What a lovely edge that is. Can you see that? Very happy with that edge, and it's torn equally nicely on both sides. I am, just for the want of just knowing, going to turn the ruler over so that the edge that has the little step down here is facing downwards. I'm just going to see if it tears equally well using that way, or whether we get a different result. So I'm having to hold the ruler down with a lot more pressure, and it gives a slightly more raggedy edge when it's up off the surface. So that's good to know. But this way, where it's flat, gives you a very, very nice torn edge, like the faux postage stamp. So I'm very happy with that. Next, I have a piece of thin handmade paper, and this has got rose petals and things in. The grain on these handmade papers is slightly shorter than normal paper because it's been recycled. So let's see what we would have here. Let's make it more or less a bookmark size. I could tear that off there. So now I've got the flat edge down on the paper, tearing slowly. This is tearing really easily because the handmade paper is softer. Not quite as clean as when it was the normal card, but as I said, these fibers are slightly shorter because it's been recycled. But if you're looking for a torn edge, I'm happy with that. So we've got those edges, and then I have some substantially thicker handmade paper. Yeah, so let's see what happens with this. I'm not expecting great results on this, but let's just have a go. So the flat edge is facing downwards. Oh, this is very soft. It's not I've got to really hold my finger underneath the paper and up against the ruler to get this to tear because the paper is so soft. However, once I worked that out, I did get a nice sort of almost deckled edge as if it had been put on a paper mold like that. So I'm quite happy that, as long as I bear in mind that I've got to be more gentle when I'm tearing that could work. This is some of recycled card. It's the kind of card that you would get on the inside of a gift roll. So those little tubes that hold your gift paper, and I'm just going to lay my ruler down and tear against this. This is 160 grams. You can see it's not quite as clean as the other, but nevertheless not bad. Quite interesting sort of little markings here, and just for want of curiosity's sake, I'm going to just tear this way and see if it changes the pattern. Okay, so I'm having to pull substantially harder along the length of the paper. I've got my finger underneath the paper and my thumb on top to actually almost pull the paper as I'm tearing. Yeah, so that does give you a torn edge look. It's actually probably a little bit better than when I did it across the width of the paper, but it was slightly harder to do. But I do like what's happened here. I don't know if you can see it on camera. It's picked up these tiny, tiny little creases around here, and I'm quite happy with those. So for a piece of discarded plastic that was on a box that clips on so nicely onto my metal ruler, I'm really, really happy to have that in my stash to make torn paper. And obviously you can buy commercial tear rulers, but that's for free, and I'm really happy with that. So I know that you won't all be able to find that. Have a look at maybe using double-sided tape or something to put a piece of those metal teeth from some of the foil boxes and the cling film boxes at the back, but you would have to watch your fingers with those because those are pretty sharp. But this one is removable. So I hope that has helped some of you to get a nice piece for your equipment. Give me a thumbs up if you've liked this video, and please subscribe to my channel. Bye for now.